WWE have released multiple talents from the company, and we have an update on the wrestling future of CM Punk. But first, will we ever get an official statement on the post-All Out Backstage incident? Following the Backstage bust-up involving Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, CM Punk, and Ace Steel, All Elite Wrestling has yet to comment on the matter in an official capacity, with the only knowledge coming from leaks to the dirt sheets. Two key people receiving information from the inside has been Dave Meltzer, who is believed to be close to the Elite side of things, while Chicago-based Nick Hausman of Wrestling Inc. has revealed information from Punk's side. The two men would meet up for a discussion on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Live, where they would compare notes and discuss what they know so far. Whilst we have more from Nick later on in the video, Meltzer would discuss if he thinks we'll ever hear anything official from AEW regarding the matter, with him noting, "I mean, AEW never announced that Ace Steel was gone. They never announced any of the suspensions. They never said anything, and they will never say anything on this because of potential legal action or whatever the reason is, but there's subjects Tony Khan doesn't talk about, and this for sure is going to be one of them." Hausman would also confirm that he isn't aware of litigation against Punk, before Meltzer added that there also isn't litigation in play from Punk towards AEW, and he would add, "As far as I know, there isn't litigation, but that doesn't mean that there won't be. I suppose it's possible on the other side too, but I have not heard that. I mean, the key is that so much of this stuff has not come out, and I don't know that it ever will, but I know there's certain things that people want to come out that haven't come out because everybody is essentially banned from talking about it that is involved." For now, it seems that whilst there is no pending legal issues from either side, there is reluctance and an official edict not to discuss the matter in public. We have more on the chat later on in the video pertaining to the future of CM Punk, with Nick pushing Dave on claims that the straight edge superstar was voted off the island in AEW, but we'll get to that one shortly. And next, an absent WWE superstar has made their return to the company. In May 2022, then WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Sasha Banks and Naomi would walk out of the company following a creative disagreement with the former management at the head of WWE. Since then, they haven't been seen in a wrestling capacity. Well, that has now changed, as during last night's WWE house show in Mexico City, Mexico, Sasha Banks is said to have been backstage, this according to Figure 4 Wrestling Online, and the report notes, regarding Sasha Banks, she was a WWE guest at the show last night in Mexico City and was hanging around with Bayley. AAA wrestler Mamba took both to a restaurant and bar. One would think that means relations between the WWE and Banks aren't negative right now. While she wasn't involved in a wrestling capacity, her attendance at the event hints towards potential reconciliation with the organization that is now led by new management compared to when the fallout occurred. Whether this leads to a return to WWE still remains to be seen. However, both Banks and Naomi are said to still be under contract with the company. But do you think Sasha Banks being spotted in Mexico City at a WWE event means she could be returning soon? Let me know in the comments down below. And next up, a huge star has been added to the WWE Crown Jewel event. This weekend, WWE will host their latest Saudi Arabia show from the city of Riyadh, with the show set to be headlined by an undisputed WWE Universal title match between champion Roman Reigns and social media star Logan Paul. Well, another big name has now been added to the card with an appearance from Bray Wyatt, now scheduled for Saturday's event, with this being announced by the official WWE Twitter page, and they would write, "Breaking news, Bray Wyatt will now be at WWE Crown Jewel this Saturday. What will Bray Wyatt have to say this Saturday at WWE Crown Jewel?" The appearance follows a promo on Friday Night SmackDown where Wyatt appeared as himself, stating that he no longer has any masks to hide behind. He would then be interrupted by a man in a mask calling himself Uncle Howdy, who called Wyatt a liar. The man behind the mask remains a mystery, although the prime candidate is currently Wyatt's real-life brother, Bo Dallas, with the earring the character was wearing being the main clue. It's unknown what Wyatt will have to say this weekend, or if we'll see Uncle Howdy once again, whether it be on the Titantron or in person, although fans are excited to see where this unique story takes us. But where do you think this story's going, and who do you think's under the Uncle Howdy mask? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE have released multiple talents from the company. Yesterday evening, news broke that WWE had plans to make a round of cuts from the company, with speculation emerging as to who could be on the chopping block. Well, the names have now been revealed, with 5 NXT wrestlers being revealed to have been released, this according to PW Insider. The report would list the names released thus far, with the following now on their way out of the company. Bodie Hayward is probably the best known name announced thus far. He's been a fixture of Andre Chase's group since debuting on television this past January, but was apparently written off television last week in an angle involving new Chase U student Duke Hudson. Sloane Jacobs was signed off the Independents, where she wrestled as the notorious Mimi. The 19-year-old has been on WWE TV since March, but mostly competed on Level Up. Erica Yan first worked a match on Level Up when it was still 205 Live last year. The young woman from Shanghai, China hasn't done much outside of that show. Damaris Griffin has been wrestling on Level Up since April. The 26-year-old former football player from Texas was with WWE for less than a year. Ru Feng was another signee out of China. He debuted in NXT last year, but since then had been relegated to Level Up. It's unclear if this is the final list or if names will be added, although we'll keep you updated should any further news break. And finally, we have an update on the wrestling future of CM Punk. Now let's get back to the chat between Nick Hausman and Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Live, where some interesting stuff regarding the AEW All-Out backstage altercation was discussed. More specifically, the reporting that has came after. This section will be a little long, but I feel it's important to talk about and to not brush over. First, let's go to Meltzer's thoughts on if there is a chance of reconciliation between Punk and AEW, leading to a return to the company once he's recovered from his tricep injury that was suffered in his match with Jon Moxley for the AEW World title that night. Meltzer would say that perhaps he could return in 6 months' time, but there's people in the company that are pretty adamant that this will not happen, and he would say, "The last I heard was a week ago, and at that moment he was negotiating something, but where that transpires, I mean, there was no deal or anything like that. I don't expect him back in AEW because he's injured, which I always thought was kind of a blessing in disguise. Perhaps in 6 months? I will say this. I had an interaction with somebody who was not one of the people who was directly talked about and was there for pretty much all of it. The way they were talking, their belief was that there can't be reconciliation. It was pretty adamant. I know there's a lot of people pretty adamant on it, but who knows? At the end of the day, it's still up in the air, I suppose." Word has it that Punk is still negotiating his way out of his AEW contract, with the non-compete clause that would prevent him from signing for another wrestling company still being the holdup. Nick Hausman would then reveal that he's heard from people that have known Punk in the past, who said that they feel he won't wrestle again, and he would say, "Cash does not seem to be an issue for this guy. He's got inroads in Hollywood going on right now. Stephen Amell's certainly shining him up with what they're trying to do over on Heels right now. I have a lot of people that have known Punk that say to me, this guy's never gonna wrestle again." It's worth noting that the statement is for sure just speculation from people that have, quote, known Punk, and not necessarily people that are close to him right now, so it's again speculation, with the actual source remaining a mystery. Nick would then challenge Dave Meltzer on his claims that Punk was, quote, voted off the island in the AEW locker room, as was claimed in a recent Wrestling Observer newsletter. Dave would confirm that the elites aren't part of this apparent vote, and would say, "The EVPs aren't even a part of that because I have not even heard a word from them. I guess it's like people who are other key people in the company. I would presume that the EVPs would not want him, but I have not been told that. I have been told that they can't say nothing because what I've heard is from them is we can't talk. And when the investigation was over, it was still we can't talk." Nick would then once again ask Dave about his voted off the island claims, with him asking, "The reason I wanted to know who voted Punk off the island was because there was other people I talked to there that were like, I like being around Punk, you know?" Dave would then seemingly backtrack on the remark, calling it a figure of speech, confirming that Punk does have allies in the locker room, despite the recent narrative being that almost everybody is against him at this point, and he would say, "Well, nobody voted him off the island, that was kind of a figure of speech. I know he had friends there." Meltzer's co-host Brian Alvarez would then chime in, adding that nothing is official, confirming that Punk is still with AEW as it stands. Hausman would then reveal that there is frustration with the public narrative surrounding the situation from both camps, and said, "I'm just curious, it seems like the knot is untangling itself, hopefully for the better for everybody. I think there's a lot of public interest in exactly how this all played out. I know there's frustrations from both sides on how the narrative is playing out right now." The water remains muddy with the situation for sure, not being helped by AEW's refusal to make any public comment on the matter, leading to leaks being the only source of information. What we do know is that for now, the Elite are returning to television and CM Punk is still with the company, and despite reports of the contrary, there are people in the locker room that enjoy working with him and likely want to continue to do so. Of course, there are also people that don't want to work with him, and knowing Punk, I'm sure the feeling is mutual in many of those cases. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 massive masked AEW wrestlers unmasked.